there! Welcome to Floating in Dreams. Today's video is going to be a Shop My Stash for the final month of the year, so welcome to December. Welcome to everybody watching today. If you are into eyeshadow palettes, essence, and Catrice reviews and getting the use out of your makeup like I am, then you're on the right address because today I'm going to be shopping my stash for some products to try and get more use out of in the month of December. I like doing these every first Tuesday of the month, and I'm going to be switching some things around and sort of show you what I've used up as well, because I'm about to, or I have used up quite a few products actually, so I'm pretty happy with that, because I do always do a video in January where I show you all the makeup and beauty bits that I used up in a given year, and I'm sort of suspecting that this year it's not going to be as much in other years, but yeah, I've got a nice array here, so let me talk you through it. And in case you don't know, then it may be good to know that I have fair skin with a cool to neutral undertone, which greatly skews my makeup preferences. And I've been buying, trying, and reviewing makeup for more than a decade, so I also know what I like. So let's get to this video right now. So let me first take you through what's going on into the drawer, and then I'm going to show you what I have selected for the new month to play around with. Now, granted, I had to do a little bit of pre-filming and sort of pre-shooting behind the scenes for this month because I've just started a new job. So I wanted to make sure I had enough lined up so I can fully focus on the new job until Christmas, and I don't have to worry too much about what's going on here. So there are things that I will be selecting that I've technically already played with or tried or tested out. So the Shop My Stash this month is going to be a bit different, and for the most part I want to focus it on things I just know and love. I'm gonna try my best to also film inside of my makeup drawers. I was hoping I could film this and I waited all day, but it's been such a dark, dreary day today that I have to film this with artificial lighting, and I don't have artificial lighting over where my makeup is kept. So I hope I can film inside the drawer. If not, you're just gonna see me putting the stuff inside the drawer, and I'm gonna talk you through what I have selected that way. So I hope you don't mind. It's going to be a little bit differently done than I usually do, but that's where we're at. It's December, we're heading into winter, and filming this kind of video is sometimes a bit challenging to really sort of get inside the drawers. So what was going on in here for November? Well, I had these two foundations in. So I tried both of these, and I was actually trying these out because in December I will be doing a roundup of 10 foundations I used. I like both of these, but you'll see how these rank in a couple of weeks time. But if you want to see these for now, I did post the reviews up on the blog so you can see swatches and all that. But yeah, I like both of these. A concealer I'm gonna keep in here because I'm gonna try and use it up. Look at how much use I got out of the Moist Creamy concealer from Apieu. This is a K-beauty brand, and can I just say how much I love this concealer for a minute? Like, I tried this last year and I've been loving it ever since. So this is a great little concealer. I love it. It's very creamy. It's not too thick. It blends easily. It wears well throughout the day. So I'm gonna keep it in to try and use it up. And the same thing goes for the Hyper Hydro serum from Catrice. So this, I'm not sure you can see, but it's about halfway gone already, and I've only been using it for a month. So I'm hoping that if I use it for another month, that I'm going to be able to actually use it up. But one thing I'm also going to be using up for sure is the Ordinary Serum foundation. This is on its last legs. You can sort of see where I'm at with the line here, but actually every single time I shake it up and use it, I can just hear there's very little product in here. And now every single time I try to pump this out, it actually squirts out product, meaning there's a lot of air in the pumper ever since I've been using it. So I think there's actually a lot less product than the black line in here. So I think if I use it for another week, it's probably going to be gone. Oh, another product that's going to stay is my powder. This is the Kiko Radiant Fusion powder in shade 1. I will be filming a full face of Kiko for you as well this month, featuring some other products I haven't tried from them yet. So I can't wait to try the other powder that I got, because that's a translucent one. And this does have a skin tone to it, but you can see I've used this a bunch. I will be using this until I use it up. But these products I'm all going to change out. So the Becca bronzer in Bali Sands, I really loved it. This was a great little bronzer to try again. I'll go back to it again at some point. And then for blush, I'm going to be retiring Rapture from Urban Decay, but it was very lovely. Kept it in for 2 months in a row because I liked it that much. the Dior Pink Glow Highlighter. Wow, this has been my favorite highlighter all month. This is the one I was using every single time I was doing my makeup. I didn't want to reach for anything else, but I'm gonna have to reach for something else now. Then the LYS cream blush was pretty. It was a lot better than I thought it was, but the texture of this is a little bit thick, so I don't love it from that perspective. I think I just have better cream blushes in my collection, but I did like the shade. Another highlighter, the Annabelle Perfect Glow. I didn't use as much because I was using the Dior one so often, but I did get a couple of uses out of it. But I realized how much I was using this one, and this highlighter is actually the same as the Annabelle, so I didn't really need both in here, so I could have just selected this and be done. And the blush in here especially I've been enjoying. It's a really nice cool tone magenta shade, and this blush is actually the reason why I'm going to be selecting a very OG favorite, but I think it's going to be perfect for December because I find myself going a little bit pale. So I'm going to be creating some selections for that. Things I've used up. Both of these mascaras are actually at the end of their lifeline. The I Heart Extreme from Essence, I know it only lasts a few weeks and it's gotten so gloopy and messy every single time I use it, so I can't wait to be selecting something else. And this one has also dried up. I actually think I've used it up, so I've had this in for a few months. So those are gone. And then right in the middle of the month I realized that I had used up my Essence Make Me Brow, which is great. So I did select the Super Glue Brow Styling Gel from Catrice, Lift and Laminate. So far I like it, but I've only been using it for 2 weeks, and this used to be clear, and you can see how cloudy it's gotten. And then I can report to you that this brow pencil, look at that small nib, it's on its last legs. Just a few more weeks of this and then I'll be done with it. That's the Soap and Glory one. For setting spray, the Catrice limited edition one, I have about a third left. This is one that I use up quite quickly because there's quite a lot in one spritz, but it's a nice product. I like it. But another thing that's almost gone, my Milani eyeshadow primer. It's getting really difficult to squeeze out, so I hope that by the end of this month it's still good to go. I don't know. Then my MAC Paint Pot and Painterly, no changes there. It's got a nice dent by now. And then a product I'd like to use up is this little eyeshadow. This is Vanilla from MAC. You can see I've hit Major Pan, and I actually am running into the problem of having to scrape this down ever so often, and it's due another scrape down, and I'm pretty sure I'm going to be expanding the pan yet again when I do that. So that's all there, and then these two products ended up in here because I used them for a quick makeup look. I went to Paris and I ran out of time to do my makeup, so I just threw together a quick little train makeup bag, and I did my makeup on the train that day. But yeah, ColourPop's Ritz ended up being used that day. And this really pretty cream blush by I'm Uni, which I actually like better in terms of formula than the LYS one. So this is one I still have to review, I think, but I'm not sure. I don't want to put it in a Shop My Stash just yet. And then also in here, you'll see me talking about this soon when I do my next custom eyeshadow palettes video. You'll see me changing around my Sydney Grace palette that I got over the summertime with these Glam Shop ones. So these are the singles I will be reaching for. So that's everything that's living in the drawer at the moment. So some things I'm keeping around, some things that are used up or about to be used up. So let's see if we can go inside of my makeup drawers and film the second part of this video. Okay, so I've turned on all the lights I could possibly turn on in order to be able to film in this drawer, so I hope the focus stays like this. So for foundation, I'm going to be selecting these three things, and before you think, Mike, but you also have the Ordinary one that you're trying to use up, trust me, I've already tried the two new bits. So these two, I'm already ready to review these because I have already been using those in November. So the Hema Skin Tint and the Ultraviolet Skin Tint, I will be having reviews up really soon. By the time you're seeing this video, you will already see the Hema one up on the blog, and I will be featuring these two in my 10 foundation review as well. But they were technically meant to go into this Shop My Stash, but because I've essentially already tried them, but I would like to get some more use out of them, I will be, for the moment that the Ordinary one runs out, I'm going to be selecting the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. So this was discontinued. Mine is quite old. And this is one that I was together with the Ordinary one trying to use up last year. And I didn't manage. So you can see I have about like a third to half of the bottle left. So I would like to roll this into the Shop My Stash just in case my Ordinary one runs out more quickly than the month is over, you could say. So this is sort of like my new backup foundation for when I run out of things. So that's the foundations done. I don't need a new concealer. I don't need a new face powder. I don't need a new primer. I don't need a new setting spray. So we're good there. What I do want to select is a new bronzer. Got a new one right here. You'll see in a haul. You'll see in a haul. But some of my Black Friday orders already came in. But I was thinking this one again, the Makeup Forever. I just need to use this to see how much I still like this. And I've always liked this one in the winter time. So I'm going to go back to an old one just to see how we feel. And then for highlighter, I was thinking, because I've been loving my Urban Decay blush so much, that I could use this again, Aura from Urban Decay. I just want to use some older cheek products here right now. Don't want to roll in too many new things. So this is a nice sizable dent and I love this shade. That's a really nice cool tone one. I also want something that's a bit warmer. So maybe... No. That's not what I want to play with. That's a good question. What do I want to play with? Oh, I know. This is such a good one for the holiday season. The Fenty Beauty Carrots. How Many Carrots Diamond Balm. And this will go with anything, even though it's quite light. So we've got that. And then for blush, I already put this one on the top because I knew I want to go back to my Ciate blush. I remember loving this so much. And this shade is quite similar to what Rapture does. So I just want to get some more use out of that. But then I also want to use this combo. So these are meant to go together in my brain. So this counts as one. I'm going to select one more cream blush to play with as well. But Bittersweet from Urban Decay together with the Blush Light in Electra from Melt. So these two combined will make for such a great cool tone cheek for the winter time. I just know it. And usually I pick something like this in like January or February, but I'm like, I would go purple blush. I just do. This was definitely inspired by like Rapture and my love for that Dior Pink Glow highlighter. That's definitely where that's coming from. Yeah, I think I just want to go in with Venetian Rose from M Cosmetics. That's a really nice shade for me. For like that blush moment. And then I also need to select some mascara. I've already, like brows, I'm just going to roll in whatever brow pen suits my interest. But I think I have everything that I can possibly need. So let me take you back to the drawer, put the drawer back together, and let me show you what eyeshadow I will be using. Alright, so everything is back in the drawer. I'm happy to report that my Tower 28 lip balm, look at how little I've got left. Just a couple more uses. This was the only lip product I pretty much used all month. But I also had a cold sore, so for about a week or two I couldn't wear any lip products save for a bit of lip balm. I tend to not use any lip products when I have a cold sore just because I don't want to run the risk of, you know, infecting myself again. So that's why this is not used up yet. I'm pretty sure that if I hadn't gotten the cold sore, this was now gone, but it's really, really close. And then for the mascaras that I used up, I need to go to the store in a minute, so I'll be picking up a new one of the Catrice mascara for sure. But in my full face of Kiko, I will be using this one for the first time. So I'm already rolling it into my Shop My Stash. This is their Extra Sculpt Waterproof Mascara. I've never used a Kiko mascara. I hear lots of great reviews about this in the comments, so I thought I could try this. And then we have the eyeshadow palettes. And here, like with the foundations, I'm sort of ahead of schedule because I've already tried a couple of these things in recent days before filming this video, because I just want to make sure I can also film some end of year favorites, which means I have to bring forward my palette review video a little bit. But yeah, I've got a couple of things that I'm going to review and that I want to revisit in this little basket here, so let me show you. So the things I will be playing around with for the review is my Zishy palette. I just filmed a video about pretty palette packaging, but that I filmed over the summertime, so I didn't own this yet. Look at how stunning this looks. Like, just for the packaging alone, if you're a bit of a magpie like I am, you want this. Like, it looks so pretty. So I'm going to test it out to see how well it works. Some of these pens are really small, so I hope I can fit a brush in there. And the sparkles around it are definitely not a pressed glitter. I was afraid they would be. But yeah, I like keeping it in the box it came in, because even the box is very pretty. Zishy knows how to do packaging. Oh, why is this not working? So yeah, that's the Zishy palette. I'll be playing around with this. I haven't played around with that yet. I have both of my little Kaleidos palettes in here, and I already did the looks that I wanted to do with these individually. These are from the Nights of Creation collection. So we have the Flowing Haze and the Glowing Iris, I believe it's called, right? Yeah, Glowing Iris. So I already used these in looks, but I still want to do a look with these together and then use some of those multi-chrome liners that came in the same collection for, like, just to show you what it does. I tried my Glossier palette. I bought this for my full face of Glossier that I did in October. So I had already used it, but I hadn't really put it in a review yet. So I used it again, and I still like it. I'd like to try more of those. They also do a mauve one that's really pretty. Natasha Denona, My Dream. I've already played around with this as well. These looks I've already played, this palette I've already played with too. It's very different from what I had expected. Not just because it's more warm toned. I already realized that when I got it in and when I started seeing swatches. So that wasn't my surprise here. My surprise was with how well it works. So when you see the swatches and the looks I did with this, you'll see what I mean, I hope. And finally, the Blueprints palette from Melt. This was a gift, so I hadn't really sort of registered this, but I used to own the stack, and mine came shattered, and then a lovely subscriber actually sent me her unused one. So I still just want to test it out now that I have the palette. Like, is this the same as the stack or not? Or I just wanted to throw it into a review, which is why, because we've got some small things this month and then something I kind of already knew. So I have, and I haven't played with this yet or the Zishy one. Everything else I've already played with and taken pictures for the video that I will be doing later this month. So if you want to hear all of my thoughts about these palettes, stay tuned. And then it's the festive season, so I wanted to select a couple of palettes to go back to that I hoped would be perfect for right now. I keep mentioning how the Vintage Vamp from Charlotte is one of my favorite Christmas palettes. So this is going to be what I wear on Christmas Day when I have dinner with my family. That's what I selected that one for. Then the Ménage à Moi. I haven't used this ever since I put it together again, and I think in terms of like mauve neutrals, it's going to be perfect. So that's going to come up in a video as well. The Persona Identity palette, one of my favorite neutral palettes, but is it too similar to other things I have? I'm not sure. And another ABH palette. I'm actually thinking of doing with my ABH palettes what I've done with my Too Faced ones and my Urban Decay ones by now, is to rearrange these. But I just want to use some of these again to see what I actually like about them. And to see what shades I actually reach for when I want to do a look with this. So I actually like the Sultry, but I only really like the like 4 or 5 shades in the bottom row. And the top row I feel a bit meh about. It's a bit warm tone for my liking. And then we have the Violette Étendue. I love this thing. We all know about it. And I think it's perfect for December. And then my favorite festive palette as well is the Naked Smoky from Urban Decay. So I think this will be great for like smoky eyes and things like that. So we'll see. I have a couple of holiday parties coming up, so I may be able to play around with this as well. So yeah, that's everything for my Shop My Stash for the month of December. I really hope you enjoyed watching this. It's a bit of a boring one perhaps because I've already used some of these things, or you know, I'm going back to some products that I know and love, but it's the end of the year, so I really just want to focus on using certain things up that, you know, I can just have a couple of more things to put in that video in January and just go back to some favorites that I love. And then we'll get around to that. So yeah, thank you so very much for joining me today. Thumbs up the video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more by me. I make several videos a week, so if you'd like to stay tuned for more, and then I hope to see you in my next video.